Hi, Randy Miller for NJ Advance Media with Brendan Cuddy. We're at Steinbrenner Field in sunny Tampa. First day of spring training on Tuesday. Not a lot happening on the field. We saw Jason Shreve throwing. Tanaka threw a little bit. Not many guys throwing, but the news of the day was Aaron Boone talked to us for 35 minutes and a couple players talked to us in the hour of availability. Brendan, what's your biggest take from Aaron Boone's presser today that lasted 35 minutes?
Well, for me, one of the biggest things was that Boone didn't completely give Aaron Hicks center field. You know, Brian Cashman, the general manager of the Yankees, has said repeatedly that he expects Hicks to be their everyday center fielder. Boone didn't quite go there, said what good shape that Hicks is in right now, but also said that the Yankees think that there's still a lot of baseball in Jacoby Ellsbury, so maybe Hicks doesn't have a great spring training. Maybe Ellsbury shows himself to be, still a decent enough player, and maybe this is not over yet. Randy, what about you?
My take on that also was the same, by the way, but I thought that he did think that Hicks' job to lose, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The one thing I took out of this was I asked Aaron Boone if he thinks it's possible that he could go into the season with rookies starting at second and third, and he said it was very possible, and he threw Tyler Wade into the mix, who I guess is still rookie, along with Miguel Andujar, who I guess is on paper right now first in the depth chart at third base, and Gleyber Torres, who's fighting for a second base spot. But it will be interesting to see how that plays out, and if the Yankees go get someone else. Also, the locker room was open for an hour. Brendan, I saw you were over in a scrum with Dellin Betances. What did you learn from Dellin?
Dellin said he spent all offseason trying to get in better shape. You looked at him, that's kind of the theme of the day today, guys, losing weight. Dellin Betances dropped 14 pounds. He's around 265 now. You can see it in his face, slimmer. Talked about trying to regain his fastball command, but he was the typical upbeat Dellin. We asked him if he was, I don't know, upset about how things finished last year, if he was disappointed how Joe Girardi, then the Yankees manager, couldn't use him in the playoffs. He said he's over it. He's looking forward to this season. He's looking forward to being the all-star that he's been the last 4 seasons. And yeah, he seemed like he was very upbeat. Randy, what else did you pull out of the clubhouse today?
Well, Gary Sanchez talked, and the biggest take I took from Sanchez talking to us for, I guess it was 8 minutes or so, but if there's a translator again, was that I asked Sanchez about last year with the blocking balls and the embarrassment and being called out by Girardi, and if he went home in a winner, was he embarrassed by this? Was he angry, disappointed? And Sanchez, to his credit, said that the criticism that he took from Girardi and others, he felt helped him improve. That all Girardi was doing by calling him out was trying to make him improve defensively, and he felt that by the end of the year he had improved, and he talked about how hard he wants to work this spring to be a more complete player. And Brendan, by the way, I know that you had written recently that Sanchez has lost 20 pounds since the start of last spring training, and he did look to be a little thinner. I know some guys were asking him if he had lost any weight since the end of the season, and he said no, so there might be a little confusion, but it was since the beginning of last season. And you did notice that he looked thinner, didn't you?
Yeah, I spoke to a source last week close to Gary who said that he's lost about 20 pounds since last spring training. Last year he came in a little bulky. The Yankees thought he was heavy. They thought it was affecting his ability to block balls. That eventually got him benched by Joe Girardi. Today, Gary says that he hasn't lost any weight. Okay, I think he looks significantly slimmer. You know, we'll see throughout the spring training here as to how much weight he's really lost and whether it affects him. But again, my understanding is that he's dropped about 20 pounds since last spring, and we'll see how that affects him, if at all.